My brother's enormous 14-inch banana is driving me completely insane. An authentic tale of betrayal from the sun-drenched beaches of California to the poignant intersections of a clandestine connection. Emily's existence was molded by affection, heartache, and the significant decisions that would carve her destiny. Yet, as the boundary between kinship and longing faded, all that she believed about her identity was cast into doubt. What unfolds when the individual who has consistently shielded you transforms into the wellspring of your most profound turmoil? Prepare yourself for a tale woven with threads of love, burdened by guilt, and heavy with the shadows of unspoken truths. Permit me to present myself. I am Anna Reed, born of the sun-drenched beaches and soft winds of a charming, tranquil town tucked away along the California coastline. In my charming little town, where the streets are adorned with tales and every face feels like home, life flows with a serene rhythm. It may not be a thriving city, yet there exists a soothing resonance of togetherness that envelopes us. Though my family may lack material wealth, we flourish in the abundance of joy and unity. My parents embody diligence and affection, tirelessly weaving a warm and nurturing haven for my brother Daniel, Clark, and me. Ethan, 3 years my elder, has consistently been my steadfast companion and protector. Our connection is robust, and we enjoy a harmonious relationship, devoid of major conflicts or disagreements. Ethan embodies the essence of a devoted brother, consistently watching over me and attending to even the most minute details with great care. In times of difficulty, whether in my academic pursuits or the broader journey of existence, he remains by my side, evoking memories of those treasured moments when he helped me conquer the skill of riding a bicycle. There were instances when he would calmly take a seat to dissect the intricacies of every math problem, and afternoons dedicated to playing in the small garden behind the house. To my brother, he was more than merely a family member. He was a true companion. Yet, as Ethan reached the age of 18, the moment arrived for him to depart from home and set forth on his adventure to university in the city. It was the first time my family experienced the absence of a member for a prolonged duration. The days of our youth, brimming with laughter amidst the blooms and serene moments of shared study, have gently slipped into the realm of memory. The void began to infiltrate the quaint little house, especially for me. The distance that lay between us transcended mere miles. It marked a departure from the rhythm of our existence. Ethan found himself caught in the vibrant chaos of student life, while I remained nestled in the soothing rhythm of my hometown existence. From that moment onward, our meetings became cherished occasions, especially during the joyous year-end festivities or important holidays when he returned. With bated breath, I found myself counting the moments, as if each second apart only intensified the connection we held. The distance intensified our gratitude for the cherished moments we experienced together. With each holiday, Ethan would delight me with gifts, modest in size yet brimming with significance, a testament to his affection and devotion, which appeared to deepen with every fleeting moment. There were moments when he held a book that he was convinced would enthrall me, and at other times he discovered a jacket that seemed to align flawlessly with my aesthetic. Right as I was preparing to set forth on my college adventure, my heart overflowed with exhilaration, unable to hide its delight. The days of vast distances separating me from my brother are now behind us. In the intricate tapestry of existence, I would discover my threads intertwined with his, as we relished the vivid moments of our college years, echoing the carefree days of our youth spent at home. The air buzzed with anticipation and delight as the bus came to a standstill at the stop, heralding the start of our grand adventure. As I gazed through the window, my sight was drawn to the familiar silhouette of Ethan, a presence forever imprinted in my mind. As I disembarked, a rush of excitement surged within me, for there he stood, his gaze locked onto mine. I discovered it was utterly futile to restrain my feelings. With a heart brimming with urgency, I hurried towards him, abandoning my possessions, my feet propelled by a singular purpose, the brother I had not encountered in what felt like an eternity. As my fingers grazed his skin, the sensation of distance dissolved into nothingness. I enveloped Ethan in my embrace, drawing him near, savoring the warmth and solace that only he could provide, a refuge found within his presence. Ethan released a soft laugh, his hand brushing against my head, reminiscent of our childhood days. With a gentle smile, he remarked, "Grace, you flourished into adulthood, yet a trace of that child remains within you." In that instant, the years I had accumulated seemed utterly inconsequential. Joy surged within me as I stood before him once more. The space that had separated us dissolved, and the lengthy anticipation now a thing of the past. That feeling enveloped me like an old companion coming back, a tender reunion with a fragment of my spirit I believed had faded away with the years. As I embraced my brother, a surge of relief enveloped me, sweeping away my anxieties and fatigue into the void. Ethan took hold of my luggage, and together we returned to the board, our steps harmoniously aligned as we moved ahead. Upon entering the domain of the house, the city streets swirled with vitality, their hues vivid, and their spirit an enchanting enigma eager to be discovered. Yet with Ethan in the vicinity, the experience blossomed into something genuinely enchanting as we journeyed side by side. He spun narratives of his existence in this land, revealing the intricate fabric of memories he had collected throughout his time far from home. His confidence and maturity emanated, crafting a comforting tapestry of security that enveloped me. Upon crossing the threshold, Ethan guided me into his sanctuary. The space, though modest in size, radiated a warmth that enveloped all who entered, creating an inviting atmosphere. Each corner was meticulously curated, and the furnishings whispered of devotion and consideration. His care appeared to intertwine itself within every corner of the room, caressing the desk, the bookshelf, and the bed with a tender essence. Everything resonated in perfect unity, radiating a profound sense of warmth and connection. This meticulous arrangement fostered an air of intimacy, as if the space were not solely his, but also intended to welcome my presence. A feeling of solace emerged amidst the unfamiliar surroundings. As siblings, we chose to cohabit, supporting one another through the highs and lows of daily existence. This arrangement transcended mere convenience for me. It evolved into a deep well of comfort as I embarked on my journey into university life. Having him by my side during this pivotal period of change made everything seem more attainable, alleviating my worries. He had crafted a refuge for me, a haven where I could confront the tempests of existence unencumbered by the weight of loneliness. Gradually, I began to realize that life frequently reveals itself in unexpected ways. At the outset, intertwining my existence with his enveloped me in a warm embrace of security and solace. Yet, before long, the winds of change started to stir, ushering in unforeseen twists and turns. At first glance, everything appeared to be utterly mundane. We traversed the halls of school together, breaking bread and crafting our everyday stories as though we were nestled in the warmth of our own abode. My parents radiated happiness as they observed the connection we forged in this thrilling new phase of our lives. However, this closeness gradually evolved into a tapestry of complex emotions that became difficult to articulate. The once clear connection of brotherly affection now wavered in the dim light of doubt. The moments we shared, our hands gently grazing one another, awakened a peculiar sensation deep within my soul. The emotions we exchanged transcended mere familial connections, enveloping me in a complex tapestry of feelings, some known and others unfamiliar, that proved challenging to articulate. I endeavored to soothe my turbulent mind, persuading myself that these clashing feelings were simply a transient mistake, possibly induced by the change in my environment. That as time unfolded, the connection we nurtured evolved into something deeply significant. The act of cohabiting and weaving a tapestry of shared experiences with Ethan gradually dissolved the once tangible chasm that lay between us as brothers, replacing it with an enduring bond of profound connection. In the midst of a tumultuous storm of feelings, a conflict arose between the yearnings of the heart and the illuminating beacon of ethics, a delicate interplay of doubt where the lines of right and wrong faded into obscurity, compelling me to reflect on the gravity of my decisions. The tension that surrounded me was not entirely of my own creation. Mastering my own emotions proved to be a challenging endeavor. Ethan, my brother, stood as a man in his own right, traversing the landscape of his thoughts even as we occupied the same space together. A young woman departed, leaving him in a state of bewilderment. In the depths of his gaze and the subtle movements of his hands, I sensed the swirling confusion take root in my heart. Ethan and I became ensnared in a tapestry of complex emotions, the connection between us deepening with each passing moment. The unbidden recurrence of moments crafted a rich tapestry, one that obscured the boundary between what was real and what was merely remembered. At first, I tried to dismiss it, assuring myself that everything would turn out fine. Nevertheless, the tempest of emotions and remorse grew stronger, enveloping us in a dense haze, obscuring any path to freedom on that fateful night. The emotions that had been simmering between us finally blossomed into something deeper, following dinner and a series of light-hearted exchanges. Upon my return to the sanctuary of my room, the gentle embrace of slumber swiftly enveloped me. In the quiet embrace of the night, a delicate sound from the adjacent bed roused me from slumber. As the gentle light streaming through the window painted shadows upon my surroundings, I glimpsed Ethan alert and still, his eyes filled with the depth of unvoiced reflections. "Ethan, it is indeed a challenge to discern the source of your troubles," I inquired softly, my words drifting through a drowsy fog. Unable to conceal my bewilderment, he regarded me for a fleeting moment, then released a soft sigh, drew nearer, and nestled beside me, his gaze locked onto mine. A silent tension lingered in the atmosphere, dense and unmistakable. His voice, resonant and full, enveloped me, each word surprising me in its depth. I inquired once more, my heart brimming with an emotion that transcended language. He paused, allowing silence to envelop us, before softly grasping my hand in his. He radiated a gentle warmth, as if he were striving to convey something that eluded simple expression. "Have you ever experienced that remarkable connection that unites us all?" he inquired softly, his gaze alight with an unusual intensity that sent a flutter through my chest. Yet I remained resolute, my hand unwavering in his grasp. "Ethan, I find myself in a peculiar predicament, as the circumstances seem quite askew," I spoke, striving to maintain my composure amidst the profound emotions that bound us together. Ethan gazed at me, his eyes glimmering with an enchanting allure. "I understand," he whispered. "But whenever I am in your presence, this feeling becomes impossible to resist. Have you ever experienced a moment like that?" In that instant, I felt a halt in time, his hold on my hand tightening as an enveloping silence surrounded us. A palpable connection lingered between us, one that eluded the confines of language. Our gazes intertwined, forging a moment where the world around us dissolved into nothingness. "Ethan, it appears that this may not be our destiny," I whispered gently, my gaze unwaveringly locked onto him. "Yet, I cannot deny this sensation," he replied with a soft smile with eyes filled with warmth. "I too reflect on whether these emotions have quietly resided within us, overlooked as we let our hearts guide our journey." In the quiet embrace of the night, we experienced a moment so deep that the bond between us became unmistakable. It felt as though two souls, fated to connect, finally welcomed the unvoiced harmony that had always been present that night. Wrapped in the warmth of one another's company, we sensed a unique connection that neither of us had dared to recognize before. The moment revealed itself as a tapestry intricately woven with threads of destiny, surpassing the boundaries of our understanding. Ordinary siblings, as the sky ignited with light, we came to realize that this bond had evolved into something intricate and hard to define. The night unfolded in a way that was impossible to ignore, transforming attachment into an inexplicable sense of affection that lingered in the air. From that moment forward, the dynamics of our relationship shifted profoundly. In the quiet moments we carved out for ourselves, we delved into our feelings and shared our empathy, nurturing the bond that blossomed ever more deeply between us. The lines had undeniably begun to fade. In the year that followed, a serene stillness enveloped all. Neither family nor friends uncovered anything out of the ordinary. As Ethan approached graduation, a shift began to unfold. He accepted a position distant from us, leading to our encounters becoming less frequent. From that moment onward, each encounter, brief as it may have been, rekindled the profound emotions we shared. The space between us only served to amplify the intensity of our connection. As life unfolds, I recognize that transformation is inevitable. It was during my second year of college that I encountered Ryan, an individual destined to alter the course of my existence in profound ways. Upon my initial encounter with Ryan, it dawned on me that the bond one shared with Ethan was not destined to endure indefinitely. In that instant, I grasped the truth. The bond with Ethan, profound as it was, would inevitably reach its conclusion. At that time, Ryan was a mere 26 years old, yet he stood out as a promising young businessman. In spite of his youth, he had crafted a robust career and radiated confidence and wisdom with every appearance. Ryan had a magnetic quality that drew others in, not merely due to his serene demeanor, but also because of his remarkable ability to navigate challenges with sharp intellect and creative problem-solving. Our paths crossed unexpectedly at a conference I was attending alongside a few friends. Ryan took the stage as the keynote speaker, and as he spoke, I found myself completely absorbed by his presence and his remarkable skill in navigating intricate topics. As we exited the room following the seminar, our paths serendipitously crossed. Ryan offered a polite smile and an apology, and the dialogue flowed effortlessly, as though we were old acquaintances. It marked the inception of our connection. From that moment forward, Ryan began to weave himself into the fabric of my life, and before long, we found ourselves entwined in a budding romance. At first, my heart still lingered for Ethan, yet the significance of Ryan's presence grew increasingly undeniable. He gifted me a profound sense of stability, security, and peace, elements I had long sought after. We exchanged visions and aspirations for what lay ahead, and Ryan instilled in me the conviction that together we could create a life rich in fulfillment. As the moments unfolded between us, it became clear that Ryan was the one with whom I could envision a lifetime shared. Regarding Ethan, despite the intensity of my emotions, I recognized that our relationship was one that could not persist. That sensation, while undeniably unique, had grown increasingly intricate and unsuitable. I understood that it was time to release the past and embrace a new beginning with Ryan, the one I envisioned as my source of joy and a secure future. Faced with the truth, I understood the need to cut the emotional ties that had bound us for so long. One afternoon, as Ethan came home for the holidays, I made up my mind to strike up a conversation with him. The weight of tension pressed down on my heart, yet I recognized the necessity of this moment. I moved closer to Ethan, taking a seat opposite him, and openly expressed my thoughts. I laid bare my emotions for Ryan and the dreams I held for our future together, all the while emphasizing that, despite the depth of our bond, it could no longer withstand the test of time. Ethan absorbed every word, his demeanor serious yet free from bitterness. He seemed to have foreseen this moment. Following a moment of quiet contemplation, he inclined his head in assent, recognizing the imperative of bringing our relationship to a close. Though our words were scarce in the moments that followed, an unspoken understanding settled between us. It was time to return to our roles as brothers. In the face of this challenging transition, a wave of relief washed over me, for I recognized that we had both reached the right conclusion. Slowly, we found our way back to a genuine bond, reminiscent of true brothers. At first glance, all appeared to be simpler. We ceased to bring up the events of the past, and whenever we crossed paths, we maintained a respectful distance, engaging in casual conversation as though nothing had transpired. At times, we gathered around the dinner table with our families or settled into the living room to watch television, yet an unspoken silence lingered in the air between us to the outside world. All appeared steady, yet beneath the surface, a delicate fragility lingered. Despite the conclusion of our relationship, an ineffable sensation washed over me each time our gazes inadvertently intertwined. A sense of confusion enveloped me, as though the threads of existence had never truly unraveled. At times, the mere sound of his footsteps drawing near would evoke an unnameable sensation within my heart. I convinced myself that I had moved on, that our relationship had settled into its rightful place, yet deep down that feeling lingered, refusing to fade away. Though the exterior radiated tranquility, within me swirled a tempest of intricate emotions, at times leaving me in a state of turmoil. Though we may have paused, the shadows of what transpired lingered, refusing to release their grip on my mind. Shortly after I donned my cap and gown, Ryan knelt with a proposal, and our wedding unfolded, graced by the warmth of family and friends. Ethan stood quietly at a distance, a smile gracing his face as he offered his congratulations. This moment, I find myself embarking on a new chapter alongside Ryan, the one I cherish and confide in, as my life steadily finds its equilibrium. The echoes of the past have transformed into invaluable lessons, affirming my decision to leave that relationship behind and embrace a brighter future ahead. In the journey of my experiences, I have come to understand that confronting our mistakes is essential for personal growth. The lessons gleaned from those missteps have illuminated the significance of emotional boundaries and the steadfastness of upholding one's values. At times, we find ourselves irresistibly attracted to certain pursuits, yet it is crucial to recognize the moment to step back, lest we lose our true selves in the process. I do not yearn for absolution from others, for what truly matters is that I have confronted my errors and discovered a path to amend them. Ryan plays a role in this transformation. He illuminated for me the essence of a genuine relationship, where authenticity and enduring love form the bedrock of true happiness. Through Ryan, I came to understand that not every emotion deserves a place in our hearts, and that sometimes the path to peace lies in the art of letting go. Following our marriage, my life began to find its rhythm, as we embarked on the journey of envisioning our future, crafting a home and dreaming of welcoming children into our lives. The tale of Ethan and me has now faded into the annals of time, a cherished fragment of my memory nestled deep within my heart. The events that transpired will forever leave an indelible impression, yet I have come to embrace acceptance and the journey of moving forward. Ethan and I choose to avoid conversations about the past, both of us recognizing that our relationship has come to an unalterable end. As I contemplate my own story, I feel compelled to share a lesson born from my difficult experiences and tough choices. One can easily find themselves caught in the web of intense emotions, especially when those closest to us become our main refuge and source of comfort. Yet, through the challenges and missteps, I have realized that maintaining moral integrity and setting emotional boundaries is essential for protecting both ourselves and those around us. Some emotions require careful management. One should not permit a transient instance of vulnerability to result in disproportionate repercussions. The essence resides in understanding when to halt, thus nurturing connections that truly foster happiness and serenity. I have decided to let go of the past, learn from this experience, and move forward into the future with the one I hold dear. This is my hope for all as well.